Welcome to Astrodology, the podcast that brings you knowledge, wisdom, and principles that can help you find the peace and comfort we all seek and deserve in our lives. Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Astrodology with Astrid. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, I love this time of year because when Aquarius new moon comes in, it's always a clearing time, an exciting time. This year, this new moon Aquarius that arrived today, I'm recording this on February 17th, the day that this new moon came in, 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I woke up this morning probably around 4:15. I stirred around that time, not remembering that it was the new moon, but it's also hearkening in the new lunar year. So lots to unpack. We have a solar eclipse as well. So talk about a party. How are you? How's everybody doing? It's so hard to believe that we are at the 17th of February 2026. Time truly is moving and marching on. So happy Lunar New Year. When I think about Aquarius energy, because it's an air sign, the first thing I think about is clearing the air. That Aquarius air kind of moves fast but methodical. It's about clearing the air. And many astrologers call this whole week ahead. So again, whenever we have a new moon or a full moon, we have 3 days of its peak energy and then 2 weeks to live in the energy. So this is a game-changing week because of all of the aspects and things that are happening. I should even say game-changing month because, hate to mention it, but towards the end of the month, we have Mercury moving into retrograde. So February is a game-changing month. It's really, Aquarius is a mental sign. So it's an air sign, but it's also a mental sign. It's a fixed sign. So Aquarius energy is all about thinking, contemplating. So if you find yourself kind of contemplating and ruminating in your mind about things, you're kind of right on track. I want to say a special happy birthdays to Gina de Roma. Gosh, my dear, dear friend of many decades, like several decades, like over 3 decades. We got to celebrate together, which is always great. Ethan Donalo Padilla Castenberg. Such an amazing soul, such an amazing quintessential Aquarius. I wish you happy, happy birthday. And Amanda Jean Penna. Wow. Celebrating a milestone year, and again, just another quintessential Aquarian. And you're born on the 14th, the day of love. And I swear you really are a doll, just like a sweetheart is the word I think of when I think of you. So let's get into the astrology. 2:17 at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also on 2:17, we moved into the Lunar New Year. The new year and the solar eclipse season got kicked off today. So the eclipse season, so the solar eclipse will be followed in a couple weeks or less with the lunar eclipse. So we have a solar eclipse and we have a lunar eclipse, and they are partners. To remind you, when eclipse season happens, it literally is almost like an 18-month period, because these first 6 months, when we start this first cycle of eclipses, the idea is in 6 months, we will see the fruition of it. So then in the fall, we have another set of a solar and lunar eclipse. And then that takes us into the following year. When you look back on eclipse season, if you look back from last year, I remember in 2024 when I went through a major breakup of a relationship, it was during eclipse season. So one of the things about eclipses, they help clear things out of the way. They help clear the deck, so to speak. Mercury retrograde is coming in on 2/26. So what's fascinating about this new moon in Aquarius is this is the 5th consecutive new moon at 28 degrees. Now this is important because we are in a 1 year. 2026 is a 1 year. So can you imagine? There will be a 6th new moon at 28 degrees. We had 3 new moons at 28 degrees at the end of 2025. And then we rolled over and we will have 3 new moons at the beginning of 2026. So we came into 2026 with 2 new moons already at 28 degrees and 1 more to go. When you think about this, it's significant not only because 8 plus 10 is a 1, which is new beginnings, fresh start. So this is mirroring this new year of 2026. Do you think the cosmos is trying to say something? Like 1 energy is also leadership energy. It's associated with fire energy. So Aries kicks off the new astrological cycle. So here we've got all of this 1 leadership energy. The moon itself has a 28-day cycle. So I love all of this numerology that's matching the cosmos. So we've officially switched from, a lot of people felt like when we came into 2026, we were in a new year. We were. However, as far as lunar years go, we were still in the year of the snake until today, the 17th. And so that's pivotal because, the slithering, the changing of skins and all of that is ending as we move into the fire horse. So during this solar eclipse, it's called Ring of Fire Around the Sun. It's beautiful. So use eclipse seasons as a way to recalibrate, because the idea behind eclipses is whatever is hidden under the surface, what needs to come out and be expressed, what needs to be changed will happen. But eclipse season, during the time that we're in eclipse season, it doesn't usually make sense until it's over. So I remember sitting here thinking one day, like last year, I was like, oh my God, my breakup happened during eclipse season. It made sense. I had this restlessness. I had this feeling in my bones that I just couldn't go on. So when we talk about eclipses, we're crossing into our individual timelines. This is about shifting timelines, but it's about individual timelines and the collective timelines, because Aquarius is a sign about the collective. So the idea is, what kind of threshold are you creating? What are you crossing over into? It could be a threshold of peace, could be a threshold of awareness, a threshold of opportunity. What is that threshold that you're going to? Because this eclipse is causing a grand awakening. Now, the significance of this particular eclipse is it is the first in a new series of eclipses in the Aquarius-Leo axis. So whenever we have air and fire, air is going to fuel that fire. So Leo is a fire sign. With this one initiating shifts that will unfold over the next 18 months and that will lead to another. So when we get to the fall eclipse, the fall solar eclipse, it will be in Leo. So unbelievable. So again, this is 1 energy. So everything is still at play and nothing is set in stone. We're still trying to arrive and land in this year. So this is really a huge time in astrology. So the idea is with eclipse season, with new moon energy, with fire horse, all of this stuff, if you need to move or shift something in your life, you can harness the energy that the cosmos is blessing us with. So the eclipse is in a sign it's not been in a couple decades. So this eclipse is in Aquarius. So it hasn't been in Aquarius in a couple of decades. There's a conjunction that's happening. That's the big hub of the 2 slow-moving planets that are coming together in a conjunction. And so this takes about 3.5 decades to come together. And these 2 planets are merging together at 0 degrees Aries. Yes, these planets are Saturn and Neptune. Saturn and Neptune couldn't be more opposite than each other. But we are in the realm of paradox, just like in life, just like politically, just like socially. There's this crazy paradox that's going on underneath everything. So it's time to take back your imagination with Neptune. Saturn is the planet of structure, discipline, form, boundaries, where Neptune likes to dissolve reality the way we know it. It likes to mess with us. So if you're dreaming a lot lately and you're having wild dreams, you can think that that's Neptunian energy. Neptune is the planet of creativity and imagination, while Saturn is the planet of reality, structure, and form. So one of the ways to look at it, Saturn is the builder. He builds things and sets the foundation. And Neptune dreams about the interior, like how ostentatious or elaborate you can be with that interior. Some call it the astral new year when we are at 0 degrees Aries. So new life truly is trying to pop up and emerge. So right now, Venus is in Pisces and it's exalted. When a sign is exhausted in a planet, that means it's more potent. So Venus in Pisces is exalted. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. So this is a really auspicious, abundant time. These two are coming together to create a trine. When a trine happens, a trine is soft and supportive energy. So it's cooperation. They come together in cooperation. The day 17 is the number of immortality, and it reduces to the number 8. 8, which is infinity, and the ruler of Aquarius is Neptune. So we got a lot of energy going on. So on 213 and 214, Saturn moved into Aries. There's that fire for a new Saturn cycle at 0 degrees Aries. And Neptune moved into Aries in January. So we've got Aries, Leo, we got all this fire. But again, when you think of fire, think purification, think clearing. So both Saturn and Neptune have joined together at 0 degrees Aries. And the new year, so when we think about this new lunar year, think about ancestral energy, because the Lunar New Year is about 3,000 years old. It originated in China. The idea is that everything begins at the depth of winter, and then we wait for the light of spring to come. And when that light of spring starts to arrive, it brings blessings of abundance, beauty, and strength. So the new year, the Lunar New Year, is also known as the Spring Festival. And the significance of it is it's celebrated and observed by various cultures, not just the Chinese cultures, particularly those in East Asia. And it marks the beginning of a new year on the lunar calendar, and is characterized by vibrant festivals, family reunions, and traditional customs. So each year it's associated with an animal from the Chinese zodiac, which is a cycle of 12 animals, each representing different traits and fortunes. The year of the fire horse. The year of the fire horse is a special occurrence in the Chinese zodiac. As each animal sign is paired with one of the 5 elements, it's going to be wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. So the fire horse occurs every 60 years, combining the dynamic and passionate nature of the fire element with the spirited and independent personality of the horse. So let's talk about the characteristics of the fire horse. Those that are born in the year of the fire horse are described as energetic, typically dynamic, and, full of energy and light. So when you think about the fire horse, think about the people that that have this fiery energy. You can look up your chart and see where you are. But people born in the fire horse have a strong sense of independence and are known for their boldness and determination. They can also be impulsive and headstrong too, so sometimes leading to challenges in personal relationships and career paths. But again, having Venus exalted in Pisces, which is focused on relationships, and Jupiter being exalted in Cancer, this is caring and nurturing. We kind of are covered. I kind of feel like the universe has our back. So the beliefs about the Lunar New Year in many Eastern cultures, the year of the fire horse is viewed with mixed feelings. While the very fiery nature of the horse is seen as powerful and transformative, I think of when we think of cars, they say X amount of horsepower. It is also considered unpredictable and potentially, in quotes, disruptive. We'll have to see about that. But historically, Some families have been cautious about having children during this year, believing that the fire horse individuals may face more hardships or bring about instability. So again, the last time we had a fire horse was 60 years ago. So despite these beliefs, the fire horse is also celebrated for its potential to inspire change and innovation. And it truly is a time when courage and creativity are highly valued. So this encourages people to pursue new opportunities and embrace transformation. So overall, the year of the fire horse represents a unique blend of energy and intensity, offering both challenges and opportunities for those under its influence. So as the saying goes, life is always filled with lessons and blessings, right? There's varied celebrations around the different cultures. Korea does something different than China, than Mongolia, than Thailand, etc., etc. But this is an interesting fact. This is the longest Chinese holiday. So the Chinese New Year is celebrated for 15 days, culminating in the lantern festivals, where they light up these beautiful lanterns displayed to symbolize the end of the festivities and a return to spring. One of my favorite things, which I did not do this year, was the red envelope tradition. I've always loved sending my sons and friends and some of their friends and close family members envelopes with money in it. And I typically give a few bucks just to get it started, and I encourage them to add to it. So this practice is meant to symbolize good luck and to ward off evil spirits. During the Lunar New Year, it's a good time to spring clean. So spring cleaning happens before the New Year. Families traditionally clean their homes thoroughly, and they sweep away the bad luck and make special space for good fortune in the coming year. Now, unbeknownst to me, I've been kind of running and gunning. I knew that the Lunar New Year was coming up, but luckily on Sunday I cleaned my space. I had a private event, so I cleaned the space thoroughly. So turns out I was ready for this Lunar New Year today. So in many Eastern cultures, the year of the fire horse is viewed with mixed feelings, as I said. But again, despite this, there's the potential for inspired change and action. So air will be fueling all of this fire, thank goodness. And Aquarius is a precocious sign anyway. It's the one that's always going to question the status quo and question the motives. Aquarius is always going to ask why. They're like the 2-year-old, but why, but why, but why? So someone said that we have these two signs that start with the letter A, which I thought was great: Aquarius and Aries, or Aquarius and air. And air and fire, they're fast moving. Again, coupled with this fire horse, we're going to have to learn to harness. So Uranus in Aquarius is in the sign. It's a sign about breaking free. So, horses, when you take their saddles off and unharness them, they will naturally run. So the idea is to immerse yourself in activities that stimulate you, not just basic energy, because the air is rapidly clearing, and you will be guided if you tap into the intuition that's coming forward. Your intuition has clearer skies because all of this air is cleaning the deck. So conjunctions are new beginnings. So we have a lot of there's so much astrology and meaning behind this time that we're going into, even as we close out the month. So again, on 226 Neptune, on January 26 actually, Neptune moved into Aries after 165 years. So that was a big darn deal. And on 127, Mars conjunct Pluto for the first time since Pluto moved into Aquarius. So the skies are speaking. On 220, Saturn and Neptune form that conjunction at 0 degrees Aries. So this will still be happening during eclipse season. So 3 days after this new moon, we have that beautiful Saturn and Neptune conjunction. Just a sneak peek, in April, 7 planets will be in Aries. 7 planets. I'll remind you that 7 planets will be in Aries in April. That's crazy. A for April, A for Aries. Okay. So the new moon in Aquarius marks a momentous occasion because the stage is set for this solar eclipse, right? So this celestial event invites us to explore the unique energies of Aquarius and how they might influence our lives during this transformative period. It represents a time of new beginnings and rejuvenation. That's what all new moons represent. In the sign of Aquarius, this energy gets amplified by the qualities associated with the air sign, because Aquarius is known for its innovative spirit, humanitarian ideals, and a desire for progress. So Aquarians desire progress not only for themselves, but for, society, mankind at large. Aquarius is always encouraging us to break free from traditional constraints and think outside of the box. So think AI. Talk about thinking outside of the box. So think innovative and creativity. This new moon is a perfect time to brainstorm. Maybe you don't put anything into action, but it's a great time to brainstorm about creative projects that have been on your mind. Again, remember, Aquarius is a mental sign, and it's time to use this strength to strengthen your ties with other like-minded individuals or groups, and consider how you can contribute to your community to make a positive impact. It's time to embrace change. We've had no choice. There's so many changes that have been thrust upon us that we've had no say-so in. So the idea is encourages us to continue to embrace change. And this new moon is an opportunity to release old patterns. This is where the eclipse energy comes in to support us and welcome transformative shifts in your personal and your professional life. So if you're thinking about changing jobs, starting new business, or doing something like that, this is probably one of the most auspicious times because you've got the horsepower, you've got the fire underneath you. So again, it heralds in the solar eclipse. Solar eclipses are powerful events that can bring about significant changes. And the main thing, revelations. All of a sudden, you just feels like something that you were tolerating is intolerable. All of a sudden, you're like, how did I go from 0 to 1,000? But that's what eclipses do. They push us to evolve and align with our true purpose. So if you're not living in your true purpose, you may feel a little restless and unsettled during this time. So again, your awareness will be heightened. You may have more intuitive downloads than you've ever experienced. So eclipses can also signify endings and prompting us to release what no longer serves us. So use this time to shed your outdated beliefs or habits that hinder your progress. So the best way to make the most of this event, all this celestial occurrence, is to set intentions. We always talk about selecting and setting intentions. I was so happy with all the intentions that I made. 12/12, 11/11, and then I followed it up with the 12 magical nights. And I tell you, those things that I wrote down that I wanted to manifest are coming to fruition. So write down them and envision them coming through. Meditation, journaling is always a great time to do it, and engage in rituals. So in my yoga classes, I have been taking the class. It's obviously a yoga flow, but teaching them more rituals, like our ancestors partook in rituals. So create a personal ritual that'll honor this moment, like candles, burn incense, burn sage, burn Palo Santo, use crystals, do all of the things to enhance the experience. Like during this private event that I did all the things. I burned kapal, I burned incense, I had candles, I did water drums, I did sound therapy. So the idea is to really tune in and let the energies guide you towards the new beginning. So guide the steps, so light the path, so to speak. Aquarius is known for its forward thinking. So as the new moon aligns with this air sign, we're encouraged to break free and from just our old habits that that need to go. Ruled by Uranus, the planet of revolution. You want to create a personal revolution. So yes, the world needs our help and we need to get out there and fight and push and support. But we also need to do an inner and maybe a mental revolution. It's time to revolutionize the way we're thinking, the way we're being. It's time to let go of the procrastination, maybe the laziness, maybe the hesitancy, maybe the fear, and step more into a courageous side of yourself, because we all have courage that lives inside of us. So it's the perfect moment to build or strengthen networks. Strengthen your networks and focus on social causes that align with your values. All of the social causes that need our desperate help are not aligned with our person. So find out where you're passionate about and how you can give back. And I've been saying this to my students. One of the ways that you can absolutely 100% give back right now during these crazy times is to take care of yourself. Give back to yourself. Support yourself. Get yourself on track. It's the oxygen mask theory, for lack of a better analogy. Put your mask on first so you can help. It's not about being selfish. We need grounded, focused, breath-filled people out there helping to move things forward. So evaluate an area of your life where you feel restricted and take steps towards liberating yourself from that. Only we can set ourselves free. Nobody else can do it for us. So again, maybe it's in your career, your relationships, or some personal growth edge that you need to make. It's time to make a huge transformational change. So think of this time about instincts, about inner guidance that may lead you to unexpected revelations and breakthroughs. And that's where the eclipse energy comes in. That's where Uranus comes in. That's where Neptune comes in. So again, it's a very potent and powerful time. We've got conjunctions. We've got, what would we say? We have, forgot the word I'm looking for, but we've got so much going on in this month of February. So don't squander it. Take every day and tap into the energy that day holds, because there'll be a lot going on to try to unground you, unearth you. So again, think of the word recalibrate. Recalibrating is different than completely transforming. So maybe you just need to tweak some things. So again, 1 energy, 28, 1 energy, 17 is 8 energy. So there's, again, nothing is set in stone just yet. And truly in life, it never really is. Everything is always still at play, and it's with our mindset and with our actions and movements are how we're going to determine and start to set things in stone. This really is a big deal time in astrology, and I hope that you tap into it. And everything is searchable these days. Everything I've talked about is searchable. I mean, you can just sit at your desk and say, what's going on cosmically, energetically, what's going on with the planets right now, because there is a lot. So again, Neptune is there to dissolve and help us let go of things that no longer serve us. This is a new time, a new frontier that we are paving. So happy new year. Soon we will be officially in the new astrological new year. But with these 2 planets being at 0 degrees Aries, we can say we're starting at ground zero. So we always get to begin again. Every month we get an opportunity with a full moon and a new moon to shift and to change. We're never stuck. It's one of the things that I try to impress upon my students. You can make an intention last week, and then this week that intention doesn't match. When you start living for the energy that is present, one of the things you could say to yourself, just for today. Just for today. It's kind of like a Reiki principle. Just for today, I'm going to and insert. And then that way, you're always coming back to being compassionate for yourself. And again, as I said early in one of the other episodes, being in this 10/1 year, because 28 equals a 10. 10 is co-creation energy. So remind you, we're not on this trip alone. We're the ones that hold ourselves back from support, but the support is all around us. And its name is fire. The L is fire, water, earth, air. is there to support us, but it's the creator, the divine creator that lives within us. It's the light of the creator that we're trying to harness. So all of this fire energy is helping us to connect with the light of the creator that lives within us. This is a yogic principle that there's this pilot light inside of us, and with each subsequent breath practice, meditation practice, yoga practice, walking meditation, sitting meditation, we are pouring gasoline on this little spark so that it can ignite into this big fire, so that whatever comes at us, we become impenetrable, that we can handle it. So things don't stop happening. Wild things, weird things, tough things don't stop happening, but we become stronger. So it's time to strengthen your container. If you don't like that word, it's time to strengthen your vessel, because the light of the creator already has given us everything that we need. We just need to get our vessel prepared in order to absorb the incredible mass of it all. All right, that's it, everybody. Happy new moon in Aquarius. Thank you for tuning in. We've got a lot on deck, and I hope you have a great week ahead. Really just tap into this powerful, potent, and beautiful energy. There's no time like it that we've had in a while. So really absorb it. Take your time. And again, steady and thoughtful, because again, Aquarius, even though it's an air sign that moves fast, it's also very methodical with its movements. I hope you have a great time as we go into this new moon. Remember, the first 3 days are the peak, but we have 2 weeks to live into this energy until we get to the next lunation of the full moon, the next full moon. And I think that's it. If you're on Instagram, follow me at Kota Life Goddess, COTALIFE, Kota Life Goddess. I'll follow you back. And you can also check me out on YouTube at Astrodology with Astrid. Have a beautiful week ahead, and namaste. Thank you for listening to Astrodology. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to help support the podcast, please hit the subscribe button and tell your friends about it by sharing this program on social media. You can also follow me on Instagram at Kota Life Goddess or at KotaLife.com. Kota is COTA, Kota Life Goddess or KotaLife.com. Thank you again for listening to Astrodology, and I'll see you next time.